This episode is going to be a little bit different or special in the sense that it's about chemical engineering, of course, but it is when someone, in this case the guest, realizes that chemical engineering might not be the best fit for his career or life. So I'm pretty sure that many of us might identify that we went to a university or college, we spent money, we spent time, we spent effort, maybe we even cried or lost some friends, and so we have invested a lot in this degree. You end up with the chemical engineer degree. And you set up to the industry, hopefully wishing that you enjoy your job, that you are passionate about it, that you will be loving to go there. But what happens when that is not the case? What happens when you realize that you are suffering and not enjoying the things that you were supposed to study and work in? So I really like this story because I think we all have a little bit on this, on our, let's say, hidden side, that we might not be enjoying that much our process engineering work, our plant engineering job, our analyst job, or whatever type of job you may have. And you're wondering, what if I did this? And you're just daydreaming and hoping for the best that you will eventually fix your life. I really like this episode with Gianni because he is straightforward. He says what he enjoyed about chemical engineering, but more importantly, he says that it's more important to follow your passion, and that if you feel more motivated doing things that are not related to chemical engineering, well, then go for it. And I really am into that boat. If you're not happy what you're doing, fix it. Change it if possible. I know it may sound easy or simple. Sometimes it is not, of course. I cannot be speaking for all those out there. But if you can, you just need that little push. I'm pretty sure that this episode will be for you. Okay, guys, it's also one of the very first episodes I recorded. So please be patient. We were having our issues with technical stuff and so. But I didn't want to launch this at the beginning because, of course, it will be kind of silly to launch a chemical engineering podcast or episodes with not so chemical engineering content. But so far, we have been listening and enjoying stories of successful chemical engineers. But this one is special because this is when chemical engineering goes bad and you just go all in. In this case, you open and go directly to your restaurant as a head chef of Italian cuisine. How awesome is that, right? So guys, I'll see you in a few seconds. Enjoy the intro. Bye-bye. Welcome to the Chemical Engineering Guys podcast, a show in which we share stories and tips from chemical and process engineers. We talk about student and professional life, as well as important aspects of products, processes, industries, and companies. But more importantly, what are the paths that these unique individuals are taking in this ever-changing world? Let's get started. So what's up, guys? Welcome once again to the podcast, Chemical Engineering Guys. And in this time, I have Gianni, which is one of my fellow colleagues, or let's say classmates back in 2008, 2012, and so on. I remember Gianni was always very happy, and I remember him as a very diligent student, but more importantly, always very looking forward for new experiences, doing a lot of things different as I was used to. So I know Gianni has been working as a quality engineer or quality and environmental testing engineer. But right now, the most important thing is that he is running a business, especially a restaurant business in Mazatlan, Mexico, which is one of the most beautiful beaches in Mexico. I really love it. Very nice shrimp, very nice tuna. So, well, I don't want to say that much. Gianni, can you please introduce yourself? Where did you study? What do you did as student, and maybe a little bit more on your jobs?
Hello. First of all, thank you. you are too kind with your words. Thank you very much. Well, yes, I am a chemical engineer. And I'm still am a chemical engineering. Um, I studied with you in Tecnológico Monterrey a few years ago. Um, well, what I did in the university, and I think is very important to say it, is as you said, I was in a few activities, extracurricular activities. I was always running, helping to run the congress, the chemical congress each year. I was president of um, a school board. It was called SEIMIQ. Yeah. Um, and yes, I always was like looking for new things to do. Sometimes that didn't help, in the grades. Sometimes I well, you know, uh, was a little distracted because of these activities while I was supposed to be studying. But at the end, I think it was the best decision because, believe it or not, when I was looking for a job later, the well, the jobs, the business, the place, these places, they're not looking really for the best primary, the best grades. Uh, it's important, but it's not vital for them because, well, a number doesn't say that much. I think I remember in my two chemical engineering jobs, um, they asked me the same thing. They never asked me about the grade. They asked me from this. Oh, you were president of in the university. Yes. Oh, you were in these events. You were doing this. Yes. I think at the end, my ideal at the end was that um, people are looking for uh, you know have in to people are looking for other people that do stuff. No, a grade only tell them that you are very good to studying, very good to making essays. Uh, and if you have the papers at the end, is you and all the other guys that goes with you, that graduate with you, and those that graduate a year before and a year before. There is too much now, too much
Competition.
competition. Yes,
So,
and
Gianni, sorry that I
yes,
interrupt you, but uh, what did you think being president in SEIMIQ, which is, for those that don't know, well, actually explain it yourself. I think you are the most suited person to explain that. What's SEIMIQ, and more importantly, what type of skills you learn there that I think most likely you don't learn in the normal syllabus in chemical engineering.
sure. SEIMIQ, well, the SEIMIQ stands for in Spanish is Sección Estudiantil de Ingeniería Mexicanos, the Instituto Mexicano de Ingeniería Química. And it means a school section, a students section of the Institute of Chemical Engineers in Mexico. That was important because here in Mexico we have an institute, uh, an institute for chemical engineering, and SEIMIQ was like the connection. We have the students with those that already are chemical engineers, those that are already working, and I think it was I love it because that for us that we're like a little nervous about what is in the future for us, that helped us a lot because with that you were like talking and seeing and and thinking with a lot of people outside the university that actually was doing what you were expecting to do.
So, Yanni, would you say that it was more into the networking part rather than the skills learned that you learned from the direct source, the engineers, or what was that special about that?
Yes, the connections, the network, it was great. Was something that I learned there. Actually, yeah, you're right. It was incredible. It was important for me in that moment because it means something when uh, doing this network with other people that was in the same things that was working in the things you want to work someday, and not only with the workers, all also with other universities, was yes like this big network. Also, I about the skills, yes, the communication was something I learned. I was the president, so leadership was another thing I didn't know how to do it, and I learned there the hard way, we could say. Um, it was big. It was big for me because suddenly I was in charge of this school's student section, and I was well, a little nervous at the beginning, and then well, a little by little, you start to know how do the things, and who you call or where to go when something happened. But it
I
was
see.
at the end was great for me.
I see. So, can you tell us one funny experience, maybe, or something you want to highlight from being president of SEIMIQ?
Well, a funny thing. Uh, oh well, I remember something. We have well, it was not us, but the institute, the chemical engineering institute was going to have a congress, a big one, uh, all country kind of congress. Was there was some people invited from the everywhere. Even I think I remember even from the United States was big. If I remember correctly, they were celebrating 50 years of this institute to the 50 years, and I was in charge with the other students. We were in charge of the
Organization or
organization. Yes, I was thinking another word, but organization is correct. We were
management?
Yes, a little more like that management, and I was specifically in charge of the food and the beverage. My
Oh, okay,
job,
like
my job.
catering.
Yes, I was in charge of the catering, but at the end of the congress was also a dinner. Everything a little fancy, with wine, beer, very good food. And yes, I was in charge. I took it because my experience in a restaurant. My parents have a restaurant. I took it. I remember it because I knew about food things. The temperatures, um, you know, the heat, everything. I took this responsibility of the dinner and the catering. About the congress was like 3 days, so I was in charge of all the food related things about
A-
in
And
these 3 days.
how many people were you serving in this congress?
Well, in the day, uh, I think a little 3 or 4 thousand people.
Wow, wow,
Yes, it was a big congress. Yes, a lot of people came, and but the dinner was more. The dinner
smaller.
was yes, the dinner was just for a few,
The VIP and
the
all the guys
VIPs, yes.
going. Okay, okay.
See the conferences guys.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
conferences. Yeah.
yeah. So suddenly, well, they asked me to. I was checking that everything was going well, and I found or did not found all the beers. They asked the institute asked bought a lot of beer, and I didn't find the beer in the place they used supposed to be.
So you bought them, but you didn't find them.
Well, I didn't buy them. The Congress
Okay.
people bought it, but they told me to look for them, and I was in charge of them. They told me you will find all the beers in this place. Please take the beers, hide it, or you know, uh, put it in a place so later you will put it in the dinner or in the catering places. But I put in the beer in the place, and suddenly the beer was gone, and I panicked because it was a lot of beer. It was like wow,
300 beers.
yeah, I think more. It was a lot of beer. It was and it was the expensive ones,
Yeah, the
was not
premium beer.
Coron.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Negra Modelo, Bohemian, those kinds, the black, the pink ones. Uh,
And how
but
did you solve the problem? If you solve
well,
it.
yeah, I solved it because, well, first of all, I tried to be calm. That's a little hard for me, but I managed to be calm. And well, first I didn't say nothing because I think they probably kill me. So what I did was like looking for them. It was a lot of beer. They can't. It must be somewhere. Uh, it the what happened was that the institute was renting a place for the Congress, but they didn't pay it all. So the guys from the place took the beer like payment.
Oh, okay. Like for
Yeah,
ransom.
yes, yes,
Wow, that's so strange.
yes. Very strange. I honestly, I didn't see this act like like, oh, they told me, oh, sorry, we didn't know, and I was like, oh my god, please,
Yeah,
what do
how
you think this whole beer is for? It's not payment. Is not for to secure your payment also.
exactly.
Yeah, we needed they in a few words they took our beer like some kind of hostage. You know,
Yeah,
like
exactly. A very
yes,
good
yes,
one. You
yes.
know someone's going to go for the
Yeah,
beer.
yeah. They told me a lot of things. That the only thing I hear was, "We have your beer. Give us our money." So when I know where the beer was and what the people that have it wanted, I went to the guys from the Congress and told them. They then I feel like a negotiator guy,
Yeah.
a little bit. But at the end, we managed to I managed to put the beer in the rightful place, and well, they serve beer with the dinner. But
So
yes,
finally you solve it.
yes, finally I solved it. It was like 20 minutes of terror,
Yeah. But that's kind of interesting to remark because I think that's what happens in real life. Some problems that you don't expect,
Yeah,
and probably one could say, "Well, it's not entirely my fault, or it's not entirely on my behalf." But in a organization, you need to solve problems, and the guys that solve problems are the ones that end up being in leadership roles.
yes,
So, Gianni, that was more into your student life, but
yes.
let's explore more on your first and second works or jobs as
Mhm.
engineers. So, what did you did in your first job?
Well, I work in Pinsa. Pinsa is a very big. What's the name?
Export company.
Export company. You can say yes. From of tuna here in Mazatlan. We are a city near to the Pacific Ocean. The tuna is very easy to find. Um, so Pinsa is I'm pretty sure it's the biggest tuna company in the world. And in the university, I decided that I was I was the thing I wanted to do is work in the more in the quality control. You know,
Yeah,
quality
but
control
in
of the.
general or in Pinsa. So you already knew you wanted to go to Pinsa, or
I knew I wanted to work first in quality control,
okay,
and then I went to Pinsa, and were there was this vacancy with this place in the quality control uh, rooms from the of them in the quality control, um,
in the labs.
in the labs. Yes,
So
yes.
this was an entry level position.
No, it was a full time position there.
Okay, and
Yeah.
how was it? Tell me more about it.
Well, it didn't go well. I only were there like for a few months. I I learned there. Well, you can say it, one of the truths about work in general. I think
Work life.
the work life. Yes,
So
I have.
would you say it was a bad experience overall, or it will be more into your own specific experience?
I think it's experience. I'm pretty sure I'm not the first one to have an experience like this.
Okay.
I will say yes, it was a little bad because I expect more from me and also for this opportunity, and it didn't go. I told you it didn't go very well. I have a very well, not mean, but a boss that uh, well,
Unique, let's say unique bus.
yeah, not unique, but the, he didn't like me because well, uh, uh, first of all, I went to a I think I went to a better university than him. That kind of bosses that envy you.
Yeah, I see. That's a
Like,
very important aspect to consider
yeah,
whenever you're working. And
yeah,
I really hate that because all things aside, you are in the same company, so you should both focus
exactly.
in the moment, in the present. You're working. Doesn't We shouldn't care that much on which university you went to or if you studied
Hmm.
certain degree. You are both working, and you should show results. In my opinion,
Exactly, yeah.
it's very, I don't know, it's very useless to have this. I don't know how to say
Yes.
this. Envy or silly envy, because
Yeah,
okay, maybe you went to a better university, but let's show results.
yeah, yes. But this is something that I know happens a lot in Mexico. People used to when they look for let's just say a coworker. Here in Mexico at least they see this coworker like a competition for them. They don't see like a buddy, a friend, a coworker,
A colleague.
a colleague. Yes, they see like a threat to them.
Yeah, this
If
guy is
this
going to
guy,
steal
yes,
my future job.
yes, yes, if this guy, they see you like if he does that, if he does the things better than me, he's going out to be promoted, and I'm going to stuck here. Uh,
Yeah,
or in
I,
this case, because he was like very, I can see it, and I know, and it was too obvious for him. He didn't like me for being from a better university. He didn't like me because I know English. He didn't speak English at all, and he was the boss of quality control from Pinsa. It was like,
That's
dude,
kind of yeah.
important. Yes, actually, it was very important because all of the equipments, uh, were the guides and all those stuff were in English. So
But yes, all the regulations or all
yes,
the I don't know. I don't know how can
manual.
someone not
Uh,
speak English and be in charge of that. That's crazy.
yeah, I know. I think he probably was the, I don't know who. He probably was there from connections. I don't know. He was good in what he wasn't bad in what in his job, but he had limits,
Yes,
and and he know he knows his limits, and he knows that I could overpass him because of his limits, and he didn't like that.
he
So
saw
at
you
the end,
like a direct threat.
yes,
So
he
he tried to make you impossible life at work.
yes, he tried very hard to do my life there impossible. He changed me my work hours like 4 times in a week. One time he changed my work hours to 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. It was a night shift.
Oh, okay,
You
just for the
know,
sake of
yes,
bothering you.
yes. It was pretty obvious he didn't like me, and I at the end he fired me because uh, the report says, if I remember correctly, he fired me because of my anger, um,
Problems,
actions.
control,
Yes, something like that. That I was a little violent. Not violent, like,
explosion.
dangerous. Yes, but uh, a very angry guy in the work. Something like that.
That's crazy because
Yes.
I know you, and I could think a lot of other fellow friends or colleagues that can be or fit that. I don't think I know that many, but you are definitely not into that. So I'm
Yes,
sorry
I
you
think it
had
was
that
kind of funny.
experience.
Yeah, happens. I learned that it's important to, um, first of all, know this. First of all, know that in a work environment, people is going also people that works with you also can see you like, not everybody. I made good friends there, but a few of them sees you like a threat. A guy that is like, if was a race for a, I don't know, I suppose a better job for them, and it's a
True.
race, and they want to win it at any cost.
Well, Gianni, let's get this aside. And what did you
Hmm.
actually did in the work? So, what was your task? What did you use?
And
Equipment? What type of processes you were dealing with, and so on?
where in Pinsa is in Pinsa, in quality control of Pinsa, the most important thing was that the tuna, they we received the tuna first. They have these big ships with very a very big freezer inside. The tunas, they catch them in big with a big net, and they throw the tunas in this freezer. So the tunas, when they don't, because the ships are in the
In
in
the
the
ocean.
ocean for weeks, I think months, catching more tuna. And at the end, they arrive to the coast. They give us the tuna, and the tuna must be totally freeze for to to not be in this composition. Uh, so my job in quality control was to be sure the tuna was, like, I work with thermometers, so it was a big thermometer with a kind of skewer. I don't know the name, like harpoon,
Oh
a
yeah.
kind of harpoon. So I needed to make a hole inside the tuna
Okay.
to know that the tuna was freeze uh,
All the way to the
all
center.
the way to the center. Yes, and after that, well, one of the things I have to do, the little things I do, was that checking temperatures all, not only at the beginnings, also in through all the system, all the process. You know.
Okay, so from the
They,
beginning, then on the
yes,
30% of the process, half,
yes,
and all the way to the end.
yes, yes. First of all, they coated the tuna in big pieces, checking thermometer temperature. Then these bigger pieces are put in some other machines. After the machine and after passing through the machine, taking the temperature again.
And what was
And
the temperature approx?
oof, it was, if I remember well, it was like 30 negative negative 30 Celsius, more or
Okay.
less.
Wow,
I
that's
think a little
super
less. Yes, it was
super cold,
ice.
super
Yes,
solid. Yeah.
yes. Hmm.
And essentially, you took all the temperatures, you did some
Hmm.
testing
Yes,
statistics, or you just fill all the data into a computer.
yes. All that the temperatures was a big part of the job because it was important. That helps that the tuna is in the good shape all the process. We also, yes, we tested, we made test, from the tuna when it's in the well, they goes in cans. There are also, a few tests we have to do there,
Okay.
just before they close the cans. A few tests after, like the final product test, kind of, something like that.
Just one question because I'm curious. Do
Yes.
you pack the tuna in the can solid cold, or is it at different temperature?
No, the well, Pinsa is very big. They have this a section that everything, that all the products go at the same freezing temperature. Uh, all these things, like the medallions, the tuna medallions, tuna
Okay.
nuggets, all of that was freezing temperature all the process, and all other tunas went to this other section with the cans section. Uh, they arrive freezing, but in the process they starting to
To
you know
melt. Well,
to
not
melt.
melt.
Yes, not
To
melt. Yeah, yeah, but getting
uh,
the yes, getting the
defreeze.
the freeze. Yes, to the normal temperature. At the end, for the cans, they put the when the tuna is already in the can, they it's not destroying, but like making the tuna in the small pieces to enter
Mm.
the cans. At the end, they put all the cans in this big, like oven thing, but
Oh,
with
okay.
water. Yeah, these big machines, they put it there, all the cans, then
To
put some
kill all
water.
bacteria possibility.
Yes. Yes, and
Okay.
then high temperatures, so they kill all the bacteria. Yes.
And the smell overall in the plant, was it fishy?
Wow. Yes, all the plants. It was, you get used to it, uh up to all this tuna smell, all almost all, because the first, I only I the only place I have a really hard time to be was in this place that they took the bones,
Oh, okay.
one of the first ones, where they took all the bones from the meat. The sting was incredible. In the other places, they just smell like tuna. It was that bad. It was
Okay,
that
like
bad.
normal tuna.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think the other smell was more like blood, bones,
yes. Blood,
ligaments,
bones. Yeah,
tendons.
yeah. All that didn't work for the cans
Okay.
or the final products. Was
Well,
a little, yes, as you say,
not
it's blood things that
not so fancy. So
Yeah,
let's get let's get to your second job as
yes,
a quality engineer. I
yes,
think, yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more on that? What you did, what you enjoy, what you despise,
yeah.
and so on.
This job was different. It was different because it was, I can say it was more like a little more relaxing. Uh, I mean more relaxing because in Pinsa they you need to work like hard all the hours. Actually they get mad with me if uh, you need to work extra hours in Pinsa. Uh,
Without payment.
no, sometimes was okay. It's fine for me, but my boss was mad with me once because I didn't. I started the work hours starts at 7 a.m. and my boss once was mad with me because I get to the job at 7 a.m. He told me that I need to get to the job earlier, that the hour 1 hour earlier that the first hour of work. Was like okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and this in this one it was, I think, I was, what I meant to say is that it was an environment a little more relaxed. You only need to do your. It was a kind of work that you only need to do your work. Nobody really bothers you. Everyone is in your, in their space. Everybody had the
Their
their
task,
job.
their
Yes,
jobs,
their
their
task.
projects.
Uh-huh. Yes. Like, so I like that. It was like nobody was. Well, I have a boss, but he never, he never made me nothing like, impossible. He every each day I arrive and they give me one list that of places to go or test to do, quality control test. And if
What?
I
Sorry, Gianni. What
yes,
was the products that you were handling
well,
or process?
this place was quality control. They make tests of quality control outside the other
Oh,
companies.
okay. More
Yes,
like I don't know how to say it, but they like a consulting agency for
yes,
quality control, and I don't know if they have the ISO, the ISO, all those standards.
yes, exactly. Yes, yes. Each company that makes a product, they have their labs. They were this second job where was a outside lab that helps to do uh, uh, the
The
tests,
testings.
the testings, like a second opinion, and also some tests that the companies, well, they didn't have the equipment to do. We
Okay.
did, yes. For example, some days I were sent to, for example, a company. They were making a product, a food product. Uh, I went there, took the few final products, take it to the lab, and make some bacterial, tests, uh, just for them to know that also us have the same final
Result.
test,
Okay.
final results. Yes,
So like to compare or to
yes,
ensure. Okay.
Yes, and other ones, for example, they work a lot with hotels. Hotels doesn't have labs, but they need, to make tests of the water that goes in the
The
for
systems,
the
heating
systems.
system,
Yes, yes.
sewage, cleaning water,
It,
laundry, and so on.
Also in the pools, they need to know,
True.
for example, that the products,
Chlor
the chlor is working, that the chlor is in the right level.
levels,
Yes,
bacteria levels.
yes.
Okay, I
Uh-huh.
see. I
I
see.
also for of the food of them in the kitchens, in the hotel kitchens. Uh, some, um, for example, tables, working tables. I took tests of the
The
super
surface.
surface of the tables,
Okay.
of the knife, the kitchen knives, things like that.
Okay.
So they yes.
Sounds interesting, but I think this is. Don't you think it's more like a chemist or lab rather than a chemical engineer part, or what? Why do you fit in that profile? So they selected you.
Well, yes, actually, they were looking for a chemistry guy, more than a chemical engineer. They, from in the beginning, they were very honest with me at the beginning. They told me that I didn't see me there. Also, I have to admit it. I didn't see me there for the long term, but I see it like an opportunity to expand me and expand my knowledge, and also because of um, how I told you before, quality control was like the thing I really like in the university, and this was pure quality control. I knew it was exactly where the type of job that some chemical engineering was for that for it was not the job for me, but I like it because I took it like an opportunity to learn more about just the quality control, right?
I see. So I ask you this because I wanted to hear it from you. But I think chemical engineers can always fit, well, not always, but can definitely fit certain profiles that are directed for chemists because
Yes.
we went to the lab, we know a little bit on chemical
Yeah.
analytics, organics. So it's
Mhm.
not so, of course, we don't have the same preparations and all
Yes.
the training, but definitely we are not in ground zero. We have some background so we can go there. So I
Yes.
think that's because you had your profile also in Pinsa in which you had quality control as well. Maybe you were a good fit.
Hmm.
And well, congratulations on getting that job. So I don't want to get that technical. I think we got a lot of information on your second job. But what I want to ask you more is your current state. I know that you change 180 degrees
Yes.
your let's say, I don't know how to professional life, and this is
Hmm.
what I want to cover. How do chemical engineers can, or what paths are they taking, why are they taking those paths? And right now, Gianni, what are you doing? Why did you change of heart? And whatever thing you think is relevant, please let us know.
Well, I told you before that this second job, I knew it was for me for the long term. At some point, I have a problem with a little problem, a situation where a situation with the company. So I I I quit, and I really didn't know what to do next. My parents have a Italian restaurant. Uh, they needed help, and I wasn't doing nothing. So I helped them. I took a few, like management responsibilities for helping them. And well, I must admit at the beginning, before the chemical engineering, my dream was to work in the same restaurant, in the restaurant my parents built. My parents told me, I had when I was in high school, they told me that they wanted to me to study something like chemical engineer, because restaurants are difficult.
It's hard
It's
work.
it's hard work all day, more than 8 hours. A lot of problems, a lot of things. And my parents' restaurant is open from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. every day, all days of the year. So they told me that what they wanted a better life for me, that that the life they have working like that in the restaurant. So that's, well, I in the high school I knew or it was the restaurant or something with chemistry. Um, and well, they told me, please don't do this, don't please don't
Don't
work
do
in a
this to
restaurant.
yourself.
Yes, it's tough, it's hard. No vacations, a pretty hard life, almost like my father's words, he told me that have a restaurant is like being like, the slave of this place. They are always calling you. You don't have that much freedom. So I took their advice and I studied chemical engineering. But at the end, I ended in the same place they didn't want me to go.
Exactly. So how
Yeah.
that happened?
Well, I told you I was doing nothing. I started to help them. It was like, and I remember perfect when my father told me, like, you can do this. Meanwhile, while you don't know what to do, while you are looking for something to do, something chemical engineering related. And I say, okay, it's true. I need to do something with that is more like my career.
Yeah.
And I look a little bit, nothing that really like like me like a lot. And also, I really uh, I now with two working experience, I must admit I was worried a little bit that have the same problems all over again, the same situations, the same kind of bosses, or the same kind of uh,
Yeah. Life,
situations.
like
Yes,
schedule. Okay.
yes. At the end, I realized I like more to be the guy in charge. And a year passed working in the restaurant, and I realized I was actually pretty confident of myself, pretty
Happy with your.
happy. Yes, happy with the restaurant, happy with what I was doing. I also realized and this helps me a lot. I use a lot of what I learned in chemical engineering in the restaurant.
Okay, so that's
I
what I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
If first, do you regret studying chemical engineering? And second, if not, or maybe yes, but what type of tools did chemical engineering is now helping you in the restaurant?
I I don't regret studying chemical engineering. I really like it. I know it was the best career for me. They it was a career that opened my eyes in a lots of ways. Give me so many tools, not only in the academic stuff, but then also in the living part.
The work-life balance, you mean?
The work, yes, yes, a lot of that. I really like it, the
The new
university
life.
life. Yes,
That's
I really
a
really like
very
it.
that's a very important thing. I always consider that sometimes you can have one of the best jobs, but if you don't have a correct work life balance, you will despise your life,
Yeah,
and eventually you will not be happy. And it can be reversed. If you are happy with your personal life, but you are not in the correct job, or you hate your job, then you will despise overall your
exactly.
life. So let me get more into the part of you being in the daily life as, let's say, a chemical engineer in a Italian restaurant. What are your tasks? How do you relate the previous profiles or works or jobs study with your today's let's say passion?
Well, uh, I realized that a restaurant is like any other company. You have matter. You have this the primal matter in one side. They then you do a process with them, and you have a final product or a service. You know, like a restaurant is another thing, like a little factory. When I really realized that it was like, this, like, all other companies, just very small, very small. I realized I can use all the things I learned in chemical engineering for for starts. I analyze all the process in the kitchen, and I analyze each dish in the menu. So I even take time for of each dish to know which ones were more difficult, or or having more
Easier.
time to
Okay.
prepare. Which preparations were used, most, which ones were used less, which ones, you know. It was a big. I analyzed everything in the kitchen. I even my first success for me in the restaurant was that I eliminate the I think more or less the 70% of the how can you say it,
Inefficiency or
no
that
inefficiency,
time.
the food that goes to the garbage,
Oh, okay, okay. So waste.
the waste. Yes, sorry, I forgot the word. I
So let's
managed
say
to,
if in 1 week you were throwing away 100 kilos, well, that's maybe too much, but let's say 100
yeah,
kilos per week.
yeah.
You're saying that now you're throwing only like 30, 40 kilos.
Yes, but when I meant that much of the preparations in the kitchen, they a lot of them get rough, get, but not good
Oh, okay,
for
they rot.
yes, the raw food. I managed to eliminate the 70% of the food that goes to waste.
Oh, okay, I
And
see, I see.
yeah, and then not that much, but I think the 40 and 50% of the all waste, as you said, of the restaurant, I managed to eliminate it. Now, I also took out all the. I will put it like 90%, because I just remember one thing that is still there that bugs me. But I will say that 90% of all of our disposable items are biodegradable.
Oh,
Bio.
okay, okay. Yeah, bio the yeah. I don't know how to say it, but I get you. It will not last that long in the
Yeah,
environment.
yeah. All is bio, is more bio in the restaurant. Less waste and less use of plastic and other uh, not good for the environment
Packings
items
and
are
all that.
off. Yes, yes. I took
Okay,
it out,
okay.
all of it, almost all of it. There is just one thing that is still I still don't find a good replacement, but we are trying to.
Okay.
And also, I did a new menu, changing a little things, so the kitchen is more efficient, a lot more efficient, and a few things more. I learned a lot of the quality control in Pinsa for the that I use in the restaurant. Also, inventory. Yeah,
That's definitely
yeah,
inventory is
that helps a
definitely
lot.
one thing I can relate, or material balances, energy balances.
Yes,
I don't know. And finance,
yes,
of course, cash flow
yes,
and I don't know,
yes.
margins. I think it's very
All of that.
important.
Yes.
So, Jenny, one thing that you would like to say to maybe all those that are either wondering if they should change of work because they are in a maybe toxic environment, or maybe if they are thinking they maybe they like their job but they are thinking that there's something else they should be trying, especially maybe they want to be chef, they want to do photography, something that is not that relatable to
Hmm.
engineering. So what would you say to them, or recommendations or tips?
Well, honestly, you need to love what you do and do what you love. Is one of my mantras. If you're not happy with the things you do, then it's not the thing you should do. I am a very I don't like risk. I don't like to take risks. But if the thing you are doing a thing that you don't like, trying to look for something else. The life is not very long to do things that don't you don't like, or you don't you don't feel it, like good about yourself. Look what you want to do. I think it's very important, and but be smart about it. Be smart, because also you need to live. You need to pay the bills.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure there is something there for each of us that use all our talents, all our brains. If you feel like there is something else there that you should probably be better, and also make your life better in the happy way, in the happy part, and also in the money part, because that it is we this will not change. You need money for stuff
For
and
living,
things, and
yeah.
and living. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure, if I find it, I'm pretty sure there is something for all of us too, that makes us happy and makes us live well.
Okay, well, that's inspiring, Jenny. I really think the same. If you don't, if maybe you are not going to do something that you love at first, but at least don't do something that you
Of
know that
course.
you hate. So
Exactly.
maybe something that you love comes later, but the first thing is stop doing what you hate. Of course, if you can, if you have a lot of debt and things to pay, well, maybe, like you say, don't do risky stuff. But if you can,
Yeah.
if you're allowed to make that, uh, I don't know how to say that jump, small
Change.
jump or change, yes,
Hmm.
do it. So, Jenny, I'm
Yeah.
going to ask you very quick questions. Try to be
Sure.
as quick as possible. Don't try to elaborate that much. So, but if you think you need to elaborate, do it. That's fine. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I will try.
So
Yeah.
here it
Shoot it.
goes. Regarding study life, what would you change from your bachelor life when you were in tech?
What would I change? I should say, I should study more. I know I say that grades are that the most important thing, but I should have studied more for my for my tests, and for my grades.
Okay,
My
so
parents
we'll say
will
so.
be
Happy.
will be okay with them. Yeah, with that. Yeah.
So, what was your favorite subject related to chemical engineering?
I really love. I don't know why, but I really love chemical process development. It was really hard. I don't know if you take it with Lozano, Francisco Lozano, the
I
professor.
didn't, but I have heard a lot of things about him.
Yeah,
Great things.
it was. It was, yes, it was great. It was very hard. It was tough, and it was at 7 a.m. Some of us were still like a little asleep. It was. I remember it like one of the my experience, the hardest of my experience, because Lozano wanted a lot of us, a lot of things from us. He told you in the moment when he wasn't happy with your you know
With
with
your
your
work, the
with what you
performance.
were doing, with your work. Yes, it was really hard, but the subjects, I really love it.
Okay, okay, nice. One subject you enjoyed that was not related to chemical engineering.
Well, so, one of my hobbies, I really like writing. I actually have a few books. I'm writing a book, a few books, and I took writing lessons class in the
Yeah,
university.
I also took it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, yes, it was nice. It was really really good, and it really helps me. I knew it was going for my career, but it helps me, and it was like an hour, a class that I really enjoyed because it was peaceful for me. I only needed to write stuff a little bit, and it
And
was great.
relax.
And I'm still doing. Yes, it was really relaxed. And I actually, I told you I'm still doing. I wrote a few books right now.
Great. Then you let us send me some if you have and you want to. Okay,
Sure.
so overrated things related to chemical engineering. So something you say, nah, that's not so great as people think.
Um, hmm, that's a. I didn't think. I was thinking of that. What could it be? Uh, One thing yes, made me think of that. I think was one or two labs. I think I didn't really enjoy it. I think was more like for the chemistry. A few classes. I think like actually were classes that you took with chemistry guys.
Hmm.
So I don't know why they put it with us. And they say always that, oh, this is one is very hard, and they always think,
I
I don't know.
get you.
I hear
So
people that say,
like organic chemistry or those chemistries that you took
oh,
with
inorganic.
chemistry.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yes. That I don't know you, but I know a lot of people that told me, chemical engineers that told me those were great. Those were
Yes,
the best classes, and I was like, those weren't chemical engineering classes, but okay.
exactly, exactly. I'm with you. I'm with you in that. Okay,
Hmm.
so if you could, well, let's change this one a little bit. What's your favorite chef
Wow. In
or
the
top
world, in the
three?
whole world,
Top three, yeah,
top
whatever,
three.
whoever. Doesn't need to be a famous
Okay.
one, but if they are famous, that's great.
Okay. Well, I need to say that the first one is my grandma, my nonna, my grandmother from my father's side. My father is Italian, and I didn't uh, know her so well because she actually live in Italy. But uh, I went to Italy a few times. I have been in Italy a few times. She's dead now. She died like 10 years ago.
No,
But
I'm
when
sorry.
the no worries. Thank you. A few the first visits to her with her in Italy. She took me with her to the kitchen. She's the one that teach me. She's the one that inspire me and make me love the kitchen. To cook. She put me in the kitchen with her when she was cooking
And you
and
loved it.
and build and create this create this passion inside me for the cooking. So I will and it was the greatest chef I ever know in my life. Was
Oh, okay.
perfect.
Talking about
So
that,
so very yes.
so what's your favorite dish? Italian dish?
Well, I have to say pizza. I love pizza. Is my favorite.
How many times a day you eat pizza? Or how many times a week?
And look, I have a restaurant, Italian restaurant. I could eat pizza every day. I know I can. I don't do it because diet and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want. I don't. Yeah, it's not good for you. But I know for sure I could eat pizza every day of my life. I managed to eat only. I will say one time a week. Yeah,
Okay, that's
and I
totally
because I
valid.
can do. I can do. Yes, I can do less. It's hard for me just one. And in the restaurant I see pizza all day. You don't understand
Yeah,
how
you don't know.
hard it
Yeah,
is for me. I see it every day.
some quality control for yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Uh,
So,
the other,
sorry, you were
yeah,
saying, Yanni? You were saying?
the other two. You asked me for the other two chefs. Uh, I will say there is one. I took classes in Florence, cooking classes, and Barbara. My teacher was also one of my favorites. Was great. And the third one, I will say, um, I haven't eat his food, but I know I know him for by reputation. His name is Carlo Cracco is chef in Milan that only for rename I know he's one of the greatest. I see him working. I see one of I try to I try to make a few of his recipes. It's great. It's a pioneer in the cooking Italian cooking.
Like modern food or?
Yes, yes, he took a modern
Approach.
Italian is very classy,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I
he
know.
he he makes Italian food like a little with a modern twist. It's
Okay,
great.
okay. I will check him later. One. Let's see. What do we have here? Your dream job.
Wow. Um. Well, actually, to be honest, the restaurant life I know is the one for me, and I'm really living it. I'm pretty happy where I am. If I can change something, to be my love job, I really I have this a dream to make a restaurant, or another restaurant, but small. It's a very it's a small. It will be a small restaurant, just like 10 tables, a
Okay,
really small
something
restaurant
more
with
small.
a yes, but with a menu that change with the stations, with the
Yeah,
menu from spring,
summer,
a menu for
autumn.
summer, yes, uh,
Nice.
uh,
That's
a changing menu. using ingredients for the moment.
Okay, okay. Sounds interesting. So
Mhm.
this another question: coffee, tea, or energy drink for, I don't know, waking up.
I don't drink coffee. It not work for me. It gives me anxiety, and I will say tea. I love
Oh,
tea.
okay, nice. Which one? Black, green?
I usually take green in the mornings, and in if I like a tea in the in the evening, kind of English British.
Okay.
If I feel British,
English
I take
breakfast.
I because yes, they drink also in the afternoon. In the afternoon, I can take maybe one a different one, ginger type or mint, something like that, more fresh.
Yeah, more. Yeah, I get you. So I was wondering, how do you do with the espresso culture and being Italian or having Italian blood?
Uh,
That's something strange.
Having Italian blood or with espresso or the coffee.
Yeah, how do
Or
you? Because all the Italians I know, they love coffee and
love
espresso.
coffee. I know. I'm actually espressos. I can have. I like it, but only if I eat something first, because
Okay,
it goes hard in the stomach.
in the stomach.
But
Okay.
yeah, actually, is hard. Is When I was in Florence studying, I also work in a restaurant there, and every day at 6 p.m., the owner of the restaurant
We'll take
uh,
you espressos.
gives give to all the guys espresso. And he always make me espresso for me, and I always say to him, I don't drink espressos. And he was like, but you are Italian. I know, but I don't like it. And
Okay.
everybody looks me like like weird, like what the hell with this guy? He doesn't like coffee. I don't know
Yeah.
what. I mean, is yes. I know that actually. Even my girlfriend tells me like, why don't you drink coffee? I don't like it. But this coffee, everybody loves it. Here in my house, in my family, I say, my father, my sister, even my mother, all everybody drinks like 3 cups of coffee a day, and they just look me like the black sheep of the family, just for don't drinking coffee. So it's kind of
Yeah.
hard, yeah, but I get used to it.
Okay. I get you. Sorry. I do enjoy coffee and tea, but I
I
prefer coffee, to be serious and honest. And one last question: which type of hobbies do you think? Uh, I don't mean which are real, but which type of hobbies do you think chemical engineers have?
Hobbies, okay. Reading, it should be a hobby for chemical engineering. Even now that I'm done work in the chemical engineering stuff, I still read a lot of essays. And well, now with the coronavirus, I think it's important to be informed. I read a lot of studies, things like that. I think it's a hobby from the chemical engineers to be always reading and to be informed. I know it should be a hobby for the chemical engineering.
Okay.
Looking for be informed of the everything.
Yeah, of daily life and updated world.
Yes,
Okay. So
yes, to be updated.
that was everything I wanted to ask you, Jenny. So let me pass to the conclusion. I don't know if you want to add something else to the public, or shall I just close it up?
No, I'm fine. I don't know if you want
Great.
to give a
Oh no, it's
conclusion.
fine. Well, I want to thank you, Jenny, for accepting the invitation. I know it's
No,
been
thank you.
uh, no, thanks to you. It's been a long time since we weren't, I don't know, talking that often. So
Yeah,
the moment you accepted my invite, I was really happy that, I don't know, once you meet someone in university and you get along with, it's like a long friendship. And I'm really happy for you that you found your way. I know that chemical engineering jobs might not be always a good fit. And I especially know that since you invest that much time and money in the university of studying chemical engineering, and maybe you work 1, 2, 3 years and you end up ending maybe in a master degree or so, you're investing a lot of money, a lot of time. So changing your path seems sometimes like stupid, but in this case, we have Gianni that has found his path. And I'm really happy for you, Gianni, that
Thank,
you are on the correct way, that you say you're happy, and that you are doing what you love. As you stated, do what you love and love what you do. Definitely, it's something I'm going to keep in mind. So, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the following episodes. Bye bye.
bye.
Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And before you go, I will really appreciate it if you take the time to share this podcast with your fellow colleagues, classmates, friends, or really anyone that might be interested on the topic of chemical engineering and its related fields. If you found this content helpful and valuable, please consider subscribing, rating, and leaving a review. Thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot.